Hi, third grade. I just want to start our lesson today by remembering what we did last week. We talked about adjectives and how you compare them, how they have comparative forms and superlative forms. Can you say this? Comparative, comparative, and then superlative. Say it with me. Superlative. Okay, so the simple form that we use, the fast car. But maybe if you're comparing it to something else, another car, it's faster, and we use on this comparative, it's ER or more, like more nervous here. But when it's the most extreme, when there's more than two things you're comparing it to, it would be the fastest, or we have the EST on the end, or most, and you had a most in front. And one way helps us remember, if it's just one syllable, it's most likely you have the ER, okay? But if there's more than one syllable, nervous, it might have that more in front of it. It's more likely to have the more in front and not the nervous-er. And definitely, if it's three syllables, it will definitely have the more in front and then the most in front. All right, so let's try to work this together. Can you please get out, if you don't have it out yet, go get it out of your binder. Classroom practice 66, okay, and we're going to do this together. All right, so you have that out now, and we will do this together. So Dad drove the old truck along the edge of the pond. Who drove the old truck along the edge of the pond? Dad. Subject, noun. What is being said about Dad? Dad drove. Verb. Drove what? Drove the truck. Verb. Okay, along. Do you remember this from our prepositions? Along. Along what? The edge. Object of the preposition. Article, adjective. Along the edge. Prepositional phrase. Of. Preposition. Of what? The pond. Object of the preposition. The. Article, adjective. Of the pond. Prepositional phrase. Let's go back here to truck. What kind of truck? Old. We know that is a adjective. If I ever pause, that means I want you to say it out loud, all right? The. Article, adjective. Okay, this was a simple sentence. This was just subject, noun, verb, pattern 1. Right, let's go back here, divide between the subject and the verb. Dad drove, and then this is a declarative sentence. Okay, let's move on. How'd you do? I'll go a little slower in the next one. Did Brandon build a model airplane for his science project? Did who build a model airplane for his science project? Brandon. Subject, noun. What is being said about Brandon? Brandon, don't forget this, and then Brandon build. Okay, so what do we do here? We have a did build. You need to recognize that as a helping verb. Verb. Did Brandon build what? What did he build? A model? No. An airplane? Yes. Direct object. We should go back now to verb, right? Transitive. What kind of airplane? A model airplane. That's an adjective. A. Always. Article, adjective. 4. Preposition. For what? His science? No. For his project. Yes. Object of the preposition. Now, this science is what kind of project? Science. Adjective. His. That is answering the question whose. Here's our whose. It's an adjective, and it is either a PPA or a PNA. And we know PNA is a possessive noun adjective, and PPA is possessive pronoun adjective. Whose, his is a pronoun, so that is a PPA, possessive pronoun adjective. We can divide between the subject and the verb. Brandon build. And this is an interrogative sentence. And this is a little tricky. Whenever I see that helping verb out front, did, helping verb wants to go with the rest of it. It's in inverted order. And so Brandon is our subject, but verb should go, normally, would go with the rest of the predicate. So since it's not, we're going to underline it twice and underline this part twice too. All right. Okay. My third grade class, I had them use a ruler for that. So that was very sloppy of me, isn't it? So I apologize. Hopefully you have a ruler at home. You're making yours nice and neat. Grandmother sent me a postcard from Alaska. Who sent me a postcard from Alaska? Grandmother. That's our subject noun. What is being said about grandmother? Grandmother sent. Verb. Sent what? A postcard. Direct object. Go back to the verb, make it transitive. Sent a postcard to who or for who? Me. That is our indirect object. A, article adjective. From, preposition. From what? Alaska, object of the preposition. From Alaska, prepositional phrase. This is a declarative sentence. Grandmother sent will divide between the subject and the verb. This is a subject, noun, verb, transitive, I-O, D-O, pattern 3. Oh, and I just realized I did not do this one up here, did I? Hope you were trying to holler to make me stop. Subject, noun, verb, transitive, direct object, pattern 2 on that one. Okay. How'd you guys do? Good? All right. All right, you are welcome at this next part, and actually at any part, you're welcome to hit pause, try to do it your best, do the best you can on it, and then come back to it, or just work with me. It's your choice, okay? Whatever helps you learn the most. All right, so for this part, we're going to do this comparative form, the different forms of our adjectives. So our first one is just plain old funny, but we compare it. What do we say? Do we say funnier or more funny? What do you think? I say funnier. And then funniest. Okay? Oh, good. What do you think about good here? Remember last week, good, we don't say gooder. What do we say? Did you say, it starts with a B, better. And the last one would be, say it out loud, best. Interesting, interesting. That is a 3-syllable word, and we should know that interesting, we never put interesting-er, it's too many syllables, so we're going to use this more here. So more interesting. And then in front of this one, if we did more here, we're definitely going to use most here. Okay. All right, nice. Do we say nicer? 1 syllable, nicer. And then, of course, the nicest. Helpful, helpful. What do you think? Helpfuler? No. More helpful. And how this one, since we used more here, we're going to use most here. Most helpful. Bad. Do you remember how we do bad? Bad. Do we say badder? You may, but it's not right if you say badder. So we say, do you remember it's a W word? Is it hope? Okay. Worse. Good. And then this last one, since we know that's worse, it is the worst. Okay? Our new is, and when they're, oh, sorry about that. Let me move this up for you guys to see. Okay, so they want us to use the adjective good here, but we need to use it in the right form. All right, so if we look up here, we know for good, it's either going to be good, better, or best. And the sentence is, to complete it correctly, our new car is blank than our old one. Our new car is, we wouldn't say good here. We would say, are you writing better? Ours better than our old one. That's good. It's better. This trail is the blank trail on the mountain. Difficult is the word they want us to use. Is this difficult? 3 syllables. 1, 2, 3. Difficult. Okay, so 3 syllables. We know we're going to have to use more or most. This trail is the more difficult trail on the mountain, or this trail is the most difficult trail on the mountain. Because there's several trails, more than 2, it's going to be the most difficult. Okay. Okay, the next one. Catherine was a very blank assistant. Helpful. Was a very, what do you think? Was a very more helpful, most helpful, or just leave it the way it is? Let's leave it the way it is. My throat hurts blank today than yesterday. Bad. My throat hurts bad today than yesterday. No, that than yesterday throws that off. We can't use it. But we know up here, bad, worse, and worst. My throat hurts worse today than yesterday, or worst today than yesterday. Just comparing it. Worse. Greenwood has received little rain than Glendale. Okay, so it's comparing Greenwood to Glendale's rain. Little. What do we say for little? Do you remember this? I'm going to show you. It's right under here. Zoom out a little bit for you guys to see. So it's an amount, little, less, and least. Little, less, and least. So let's go back here and see if we can figure out what they meant to do here. It's kind of crooked. Okay, so what do you guys think here? Greenwood has received little, it's less or least, right? What do you think? I would say less. Is that what you said? Less. Okay, so now let's move on to our editing part of our page. Who is going to the game with Mom and Dad? Asked Sharon. Remember, we are going to underline explanatory words, so that's going to count as one of our mistakes. All right. Who is going to the game with Mom and Dad? Sharon asked Shannon. Okay. So let's start with this. Capital, quote, capital W. Who is going to the game with Mom and Dad? So it's not my mom and dad. It's actually their names, Mom and Dad. So we're going to capitalize those. Mom and Dad, question mark, end quote, asked, whoops, Shannon with a capital S, period. And this is underlined because that's explanatory words. So let's count that up and see if I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Got them. All right. All right. How'd you guys do? If this is hard for you, we're going to do more. So do not fear. All right. Otherwise, if it's simple for you, then you have a great chapter ahead of you. All right. Of good review.